Behind me over here is the iconic red bricked building, which is the oldest property the Jamaat has continuously owned here at their national headquarters. But let's go back to a time when it was the only standing structure in this entire region.
It appeared to be very far from Toronto.
There was nothing after Major Mackenzie to the north of it, this one. When we bought that land, and it was a very isolated spot there at that time.
When the mosque was ready for opening, there was a lot of excitement in Jamaat.
अल्लाह ताला ने अपने फजल से जमात अहमदिया कनाडा को जो बहुत ही वसी और खूबसूरत सादा मगर दिलकश मस्जिद बनाने की तौफीक बख्शी है.
At that time, the mosque would be hardly visited for daily prayer because it was very difficult for people to come. But miraculous changes took place after completion of Baitul Islam Mosque.
With a beautiful first masjid inaugurated in 1992, the rural lands around the Baitul Islam still ran for many miles in all directions. Yet, times were changing. The once small Jamaat was growing, drop by drop, with every new member bringing a unique and faith-inspiring story to their new homeland.
मस्जिदें बनाना अच्छी चीज़ है, मगर मस्जिदों के लिए नमाजी तो बनाना ज़रूरी है. अगर मस्जिदें बनाएंगे और नमाजी नहीं बनाएंगे तो उसका क्या फ़ायदा.
जब यहाँ मस्जिद बन गई तो कुछ दिन खलीफा राबे रहमुल्लाह ताला यहाँ रहे, तो उन्होंने नोट किया कि हाज़री इतनी ख़ास नहीं होती. तो वो फरमाने लगे मेहदी साहब से कि मस्जिद तो बना दिया आपने, लेकिन हाज़री की तरफ भी तवज्जो होनी चाहिए. मेहदी साहब कहने लगे हजूर दुआ करो ए जगह सानू मिल जाए. तो इसके मुतल्लिक़ वल्लाह आलम हजूर ने ज़रूर ये दुआ की होगी.
That you see, I don't know if you can see those buildings and structures, that's Toronto, city of Toronto, and I don't know if you can see the CN Tower, but way far through those buildings there's a very thin, long structure. That's a CN Tower, one of the longest standing structures in the world currently.
And it looks like we have some farmland on this side of the mosque.
Currently on the north side of the mosque, which we're facing right now, is a farmland. I believe they're growing some tomatoes there right now. This land is for sale, so hopefully somebody will buy it and develop it also.
At that time, we were given the impression by the officials in the city of Vaughan that the development in this part of Vaughan would take place 25 to 30 years. We wish that we could have a house near the mosque.
Now, despite the humble state of the Jamaat at that time, it was the heartfelt desire of the members and the prayers of their beloved Khalifa that planted seedlings in this land, which would be seeing tremendous growth in the coming years, the fruits of which we enjoy to this day.
But when the blessing of Allah comes, the planning came much earlier than anticipated. Normally, it is the policy of the province and the town that along 400, both sides, east and west, will be only industrial and institutional development. However, an extraordinary exception took place here. That promise allowed to have residential development during 1994 on both sides of Highway 400, starting from Rutherford up to Teston.
And the developers started having surveys, and we came to know that the development right north of Baitul Islam property was going to be done by a development company.
वो बस्ती रात के सजदों से जब उभरती थी, सदाए सल्ले अला से सहर उतरती थी.
Unfortunately, during the block plan development process, Jamaat did not actively participate in the process. Normally, if we participate in that process, we could explain our situation and reserve our rights. So when I initially saw the development plans submitted by the builders, there were about 40-50 homes proposed backing on our north side of the property, and similarly 40 or 50 homes were going to back on our south side of the property. This was not an acceptable situation. This road was supposed to go through south towards America Avenue, what it is now, but this would have divided our Jamaat property into two. So one side is the mosque, here is the other half, and public traffic going on at what speed or what number you don't know. So we took the step to get involved and objected to these developments. Once we appeared in the council and we said that this is not acceptable, then the process started. One builder, he bought this land of 50 acres, but he did not consult Jamaat before buying. So when he bought it, then he came to National Amir Sahib, Maulana Naseem Mehdi, and had a meeting.
The company proposed that the Jamaat should be paid some amount of money so that its land could be used to develop the city infrastructure, but the Jamaat decided to give that land for free. In return for that, it came with a tremendous benefit which established its fruits in the coming years.
Mehdi Sahib very diligently told him that we look forward to have this development coming around mosque. It is of our interest, but at the same time, we will meet your interests with understanding that you are also looking for our interests.
As an agreement between the developers and the Jamaat was allocated 5 plots of land for free. These 5 plots ultimately came to be known as the Second Bashir Guest House, the Bait-e-Maryam, and the building right behind me, the Al-Khidmat office of Majlis Khuddam al-Ahmadiyya Canada.
An agreement was reached and Peace Village came about.
ज़रूरतें भी हमारी कहाँ ज़्यादा थी कि ज़िंदगी की अदाएं बहुत ही सादा थी.
The builder started construction on April 5, 1998 with prayers, and it was led by Maulana Naseem Mehdi Sahib, marhum. 2 days later was Eid al-Adha. Late Maulana Naseem Mehdi Sahib gave a sermon. He introduced this project to Jamaat. He explained the example of Hazrat Ibrahim, how in difficult circumstances he settled his family near the mosque. He encouraged members that now that we have made all the agreements with the builder, we are ready to recommend to the members that they can buy homes around the mosque. Now look at the excitement of the Jamaat members. Soon after Eid prayer, many of them they lined up in the sales office, and I understand that about 20 homes were booked on that day. Now according to a report in Toronto Star, about 100 homes were booked on that weekend.
गली गली कई जुगनू से जगमगाते थे, नमाजियों के कदम मस्जिदों को जाते थे.
जब हम पाकिस्तान से चले थे तो हमने सुना था कि कनाडा में एक कम्युनिटी हमारी बिल्ट हो रही है जो कि स्पेसिफिकली ओनली फॉर जो अहमदीज़ के लिए है. तो हम वहीं से ये इंटेंशन लेके आए थे कि हम जब भी यहाँ आएंगे तो यहाँ मूव करेंगे.
And for many families it was an uphill task how to afford new houses while they had recently taken refuge in Canada. There were about 300 housing units initially in the area, the development of Peace Village, but not enough Ahmadi families were there to buy these houses.
After our agreements with the builder, it was an understanding that all the homes will be purchased by our members. So accordingly, all the names were supposed to be after the name of Jamaat elders, and most of the names suggested were approved. Most of the larger homes were sold very quickly, but there was less interest in the smaller homes. So then builder decided to sell these lots where we are standing to Baywood builder. So they wanted the names of their own choice. We had named these streets Tahir and Nasser Street, Similarly, what is now Bashir Street was named as Zafrullah Khan Crescent. So one of the reasons was that these are the difficult names. It was agreed that we will swap one of the names, which is a difficult name apparently. So at that time, the name Zafrullah Khan Crescent was changed with the Bashir Street. So this is how we were able to keep all those names originally approved.
काफ़ी कोशिश के बाद फिर एक मेरे कज़न जो है वो 5-6 महीने के बाद हमारे पास आए, उनसे मैंने रिक्वेस्ट की तो वो हमें यहाँ पीस विलेज में लेके आए.
The idea of Peace Village came after we had been living, and I was studying at York University. We had a house there, and then Peace Village came up as a project. And our desire was that we wanted to be close to a mosque. At the beginning, it was difficult because we could not put up the finance that was necessary. Every afternoon at the time of Maghrib, I would take the two youngest ones, put them in the car and rush up Jane Street, and I would be telling them, pray that Allah gives us the opportunity to live there so that we are close to the mosque. But eventually, by Allah's grace, this sort of became a reality.
So one day I came here to pray, and I met the same real estate agent. And I told him that I wish I live here. So he told me, yes, you can move here. Your house has equity, you can sell and move here. So he helped me to sell it, and I bought Tahir Street.
We decided to essentially move to Peace Villages in 2000. It was never planned. My parents had decided to sell the house that we were living in Brampton at the time. And the plan was from Brampton, we were going to move to Rabwa for a couple of years, and mainly for the upbringing. But what ended up happening was when my parents came to Peace Village, to Baitul Islam Mosque to read Jummah Salat, there was a big board right in front of mosque gate. There was an illustration, the Quranic verse in it, where Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam had prayed for Hazrat Hajra and Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam while he was settling them in the valley of Makkah. And essentially he was praying that, oh my Lord, make this city a peaceful city. After viewing that verse and reading that verse, my parents got motivated and completely abandoned their plans of moving to Pakistan, Rabwa, and decided there and then to book a house in Peace Village. And alhamdulillah, they were able to do so.
I myself know that if it was not for Baitul Islam Mosque, I would have remained till now in Scarborough, where I came in the beginning.
It was only and only because of Jamaat that we are here. It was the guidance of Hazur. I sometimes feel that Hazur planted like a nursery. He picked up plants from every country, brought them together.
हमें जब बुलाती हैं रबवा की गलियां बहुत खून रुलाती हैं रबवा की गलियां.
When people started moving to Peace Village, memories of moving to Rabwa were very often repeated. You know, when Rabwa land was purchased, it was a barren land in 1948, and even water was not there. So moving to Peace Village, there was a similarity that we are moving here just to be able to attend the mosque 5 times a day. So this was an emotion, or this was a feeling which moved people from their own homes.
In the early years after the purchase of this property, there were many critical voices claiming that the area around the masjid would remain farmland for up to half a century. But to their shock and amazement, the area around that very masjid began flourishing within just 10 to 15 years and became the incredible community of Peace Village that we can see today. And it's actually hard to imagine that just within those 10 to 15 years, every single acre and square foot that became a house used to be a farmland teeming with potatoes and tomatoes.
फिर आफताब जो हम राह लेके धूपाता, हमारे शहर मोहब्बत पे कैसा रूपाता। जे यकीन था मैं जल्द लौट आऊंगा, भला मैं छोड़ कर उसको कहाँ पे जाऊंगा। बिछड़ते वक्त में जूं कदम उठाता था, वो शहर मेरे बदन से लिपटता